Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're audible.
And now I will share my screen and shall I start with the session?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if my screen is visible and if my voice is very proper, then I will start the session. Okay, so I take this opportunity to thank the Nutan Mahavidyalay, Maharashtra Vidya Prasarak Mandal's Nutan College of Engineering and Research, Pune, for giving me an opportunity to present whatever little knowledge I have related to research and research publication. And I'm very sure that whatever content I'm going to deliver today and as well as on the Saturday, definitely the research community will get benefited. So the topic that I selected for session number 1 is Scopus and Web of Science Relevant Perspective. The title is selected very carefully because nowadays when we talk about NBA, NRF, or even NAC, so they are asking the publications published especially in the Scopus or Web of Science. If the article is not indexed in these two bodies, then the impact of the article will be low, and these bodies are generally don't consider these articles. Again, the Scopus and Web of Science has so many terminologies, and for the academicians, the relevant terms, terminologies which we must know, so that accordingly we can publish our article at appropriate place. And that's why the title is Scopus and Web of Science Relevant Perspective. That is, we are discussing only the relevant and required parts of Scopus and Web of Science. The motivation for this particular session is that in 2021, when I visited the website of National Institute Ranking Framework, then the NRF come up with a new type of institution, that is research institutions. And what they are expecting? At least 500 research publications indexed in Scopus or Web of Science in 3 years. That is a quite challenging task. And even furthermore, the institute should have at least 1,000 PhD admissions. So the second criteria is quite difficult, but as an academic institution, if we put a sincere effort, then I'm very sure we can publish 500 journal articles which are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. So this is one motivation. Second motivation, when I joined PCCOE Mechanical Engineering Department, based on the capabilities of the faculty members and the research facilities available here, we set a target of publishing 75 research articles only in Mechanical Engineering Department. And I'm very happy to share that in 1 year, we published 66 articles out of 75. And at institute level, last year, the institute decided to publish more than 1,000 research articles in coming 5 years. That is from 2022 to 2025. In these 4-5 years, we decided to publish more than 1,000 research articles. And we started putting our sincere efforts in these directions. And the lecture series, then the faculty development programs and the mentoring sessions we had. And the outcome is that in calendar year 2022, I'm very happy to share that our institute published 280 research articles in international journals and conferences, and all 280 articles are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. So this is a very positive outcome we received from certain workshops. So these are the 3 motivations for this particular session. In this particular session, the questions that you can see on your screen, so we will try to answer these particular questions. And once you understand the answer of these questions, definitely you can implement the understanding for selecting a right journal, conference, or a book for publishing your work. So let's start with what is a peer review journal. The alternative word for peer review is referred journal or scholarly journal. So many times we get confused. What do you mean by scholarly? It is equivalent to peer review journal. Now, what is the exact meaning of the peer review journal? The articles are written by scholars or expert working in a very particular domain. The written article is reviewed by the experts who are working in the same domain, so that the expert working in that particular field can help that researcher to enhance the quality of the article, and the well written article will be published in the journal. This will help to improve the quality of the, not only the article but also the quality of the journal as well. So if this process is followed by a journal, then we say that it is a peer reviewed journal and the article is peer reviewed. For example, suppose the article is written reliability analysis and optimization of a machine tool using Taguchi method. So if you wrote this article, then what is expected? Who can possibly review this particular paper? Then the answer is the reviewer should have expert in the domain of reliability engineering, data analysis, system reliability modeling, Taguchi method, machine tools, and optimization technique. So the important keywords from the article are identified, and the article will be sent to the expert who is working in this particular domain or have similar experience in this particular domain. Now, this is the process to assign a reviewer for the article, so that the quality inputs will be received by the authors and they can work on the article to improve its quality. Now, if I write this particular article, then where should I publish? I should select a journal in which the scope of the journal and the scope of the article must match. For example, reliability engineering and system safety, journal of risk and reliability. These are the some of the journals where the scope of the journal and the scope of the article matches. Yes, of course, we can publish this article in a journal, generalized journal, for example, advances in mechanical engineering, very good journal. But the issue will be, if you publish your article in a general journal, then the visibility of the article will be low and probably you may get less citation. So it is always better to identify a very specific journal which is related to your domain and accordingly publish the same. Then once we complete the what is a peer review journal and how to article is assigned to a reviewer, then we will try to understand the first important terminology, that is publisher and publishing house. Generally, if you ask somebody, where did you publish your article? Then generally the answer comes, sir, I publish article in Springer. But Springer is not a journal, it is a publisher. The Springer has so many journals. So henceforth, whenever we are saying where did you publish, so instead of a publishing house, I would say we should take the name of the journal. So what are some of the well-known journal publishers? So publishers are elsewhere publishes more than 2,500 journals. When we talk about Springer, more than 1,000 journals they have. So similar, you can see Taylor Francis, Wiley, Imbrald, Basil House, ASME, IEEE. So these are the some of the well-known publishers, and in the bracket, how many journals they have based on a domain area, it is given. So what my recommendation is, we should not say where did you publish means publisher, we should take a typical name of the journal. Second important thing is that if you publish an article in a journal who belongs to a well-known publisher, then this is a very good indicator that the quality of the journal is high, because the quality of the publisher is high. But we should not assume that if we publish article in elsewhere means definitely the quality of the journal is good. Is a good. Why? Take an example of E Prime. This is one of the journal of elsewhere. Even though it is a elsewhere journal, but it is not indexed in Web of Science or Scopus. So we need to check the indexing as well. One example I would like to give here. I submitted one article to a journal, Safety and Reliability. The name of the journal is Safety and Reliability, which is of Taylor and Francis. So initially I thought that the publisher is very reputed. The journal title itself has the word reliability, which matches with my domain. So I submitted the article. Now when the article got accepted, I thought I should check whether it is indexed in Web of Science or Scopus. And surprisingly, that journal was not indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. and unfortunately I have to withdraw that article because of the indexing issue. So what I wanted to convey here, the reputed publishing house is a good indicator of a good journal, but we should not blindly believe in the same. We should cross verify the same. Again, there are certain journals who are associated with the university or uh, 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 not well-known publishing out, but they are very good. For example, Acta Polytechnica Hungarica. This is a journal which is affiliated to the university, and if you look at the indexing, then it is indexed in Scopus Quartile 1 and Emerging Source Citation Index (ESCI) of Web of Science. So apart from this well-known publishing house, we must find out the relevant journals who are not belonging to well publishing house, but their quality is very high. Then we will try to understand what is journal indexing. So basically, as an academic institutions, we should be aware about three types of indexing: Web of Science, Scopus, and Google Scholar. Where Web of Science and Scopus are generally considered as a authenticate source for indexing, and intentionally Google Scholar I mentioned in a red color because that is, according to me, that is not a uh, authenticate, or what I would say, not a good indexing. Because if you write a poem and at the end of the poem put just 20-30 references and publish online on any website, then Google system is very smart. They call that particular article, they will put that article in your Google Scholar profile, and you will also get the citation. So even though there is a no relevance of the published work, but you will get citation in the Google Scholar. And that's why I strongly not recommend to go for Google Scholar. You should focus more on Web of Science and Scopus. Now, when we talk about Web of Science also has 5 sub-indexing: SCI, SCIE, ESCI, SSCI, and AHCI. So as an engineering institution, what is expected from us? We should publish our article in a journal which is indexed in SCI, that is Science Citation Index, and Science Citation Index Expanded, that is first two. But if you think that you are a new researcher, and if you think that the article quality is not up to the mark, then we can go for Emerging Source Citation Index. This means the journals which are indexed in Emerging Source Citation Index denotes that the journals are improving their quality over the period of time. So our ultimate goal should be to publish in SCI or SCI, but as a budding engineer or researcher, we can try to publish in ESCI journal as well. Again, in engineering institutions, especially the first year faculty members say that we don't have any relevant journals. But I will tell you that the SSCI and ASCI, if you look at their expansions, that is the long form of this indexing, then the mathematics, then English teacher can also publish their articles in SSCI and AHCI index journals. Here, interesting thing is that the Emerging Source Citation Index journals will not have impact factor. Remaining all 4 categories will have impact factor. Again, take an example of a Scopus or Web of Science. Whatever journal index is in the Scopus or Web of Science, they are divided into 4 groups: quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and quartile 4. So how this quartile is estimated, I will give one simple example. For example, I am working in the domain of reliability, and suppose in reliability domain there are 100 journals. So out of these 100 journals are arranged in descending order based on their impact factor. Means highest impact factor journal will be at top, that is rank 1, and the lowest impact factor journal will be at the last rank, that is 100 position. So when you arrange the journals in a descending order of a impact factor, then the top 25 journals will be in quartile 1, next 25 journals will be in quartile 2, third 25 journals in quartile 3, and remaining will be in quartile 4. Means the quartile 1 will give you the high impact factor journal or research impact is very high. Then quartile 2, then quartile 3 and quartile 4. And as a based on my experience, what I would say, our ultimate goal should be to publish our article in a journal which is indexed in quartile 1 and quartile 2. The reason is that the quartile 1 2 journals are maintaining their high reputation, and the issue with the quartile 3 4 journal is they are generally coming in and going out based on their reputation. So many times we think that a given journal is indexed in quartile 4, but article when it will get published, it will not come in Scopus or Web of Science because that journal may be thrown out of the indexing. So because of this particular issue, we should avoid quartile 3 and quartile 4 journals, and we should focus more on quartile 1 and quartile 2 journals. So this is the recommendation for my side. Again, for more details, we are going to discuss in more details. So in this particular slide, what we can see, that when we talk about indexing, we should focus on Web of Science and Scopus. Again, in Web of Science, our target should be SCI, SCIE. And when we talk about quartiles, our target should be quartile 1 and quartile 2. Now, if I came across a journal and I want to check whether the journal is indexed in Web of Science or not, this question is very important because I will give you one recent example. One faculty came to me and said that, sir, I published an article in a journal which is in Scopus quartile 3. Then when I checked that journal on the official website of Scopus, then it was not there. But that faculty was claiming that, sir, no, on the official website of the journal is saying that we are in the Scopus. But the Scopus is saying that it is not indexed in Scopus. So this is a very serious contradiction. There are many journals who are predatory, fake journals. On their website of the journal, they say that we are indexed in Scopus, SCI, impact factor 7, 8, 9, but most of the information is fake. And that's why whenever we want to verify the indexing of a journal, we must go to the official website of Web of Science and Scopus to verify the same. So what we need to do, go to Google, put a word Web of Science Master Journal List, and you will come to know the first website, that is mjul.clarivate.com. This is the official website of Web of Science. And when you click on it, you will come across a search window. And just put the name of the journal and press the search option. Now, when you click on the search, it will provide you all the details of the journal. So here the name is appearing. So we can say that this Reliability Engineering and System Safety Journal is available in master list of Web of Science. Now, so many information is given, but look at this particular sentence, that is SCIE, Science Citation Index Expanded. So we can say that this journal is in SCIE. So this journal will have an impact factor. So this is the authenticate indexing of the journal. So this is how you can verify whether a journal is indexed in Web of Science or not, along with its detail, what type of indexing it holds. Similarly, for Scopus, what you need to do, go to Google, put a word Scopus, then this is the official website of the Scopus, www.scopus.com. Go to their official website. Again, on the official website, there are so many things, but we have to click on the sources options where you can get the information about the journal. So click on the sources option. Then here you will see a search window. And Scopus is a very flexible, I would say, as compared to Web of Science, where you can search the journal based on subject area, title, according to publisher, and ISSN number. I recommend you to go according to the title, but sometimes you can also go ahead with the ISSN number as well. So when you go for option title, then put a word, for example, reliability. In this case, I put reliability here, and I will click on the find sources. Then what I will see there are 22 journals. In the title itself, a word reliability is there. And all of these journals are indexed in Scopus. For example, Reliability Engineering and System Safety, the site score is 10.2. So you scroll down this particular page, you will see all journals one after another, and you can see a site score as well. Generally, the journal which is appearing at rank 1 will have highest site score, and as you go down, the site score will go down. What is the significance of site score? I will discuss later. But here you will come to know the official and authenticate information about the scopus. Again, if I want to know only the journals which are indexing in quartile 1, then I can apply this particular filter so that I will get a list of journals which are indexing quartile 1. Accordingly, quartile 2, 3, 4, you can filter the journals and you can see. Again, if you want to know only journals, you can use this option. If I'm interested to know only for book series, I can opt this particular option. So this is how you can get different types of journals and their authenticate information on Scopus. And I was talking about the quartiles, right? So let's talk about reliability engineering and system safety journal. So the percentile written is 97%. How it is calculated? In the domain of reliability, there are 171 journals. Out of 171, according to site score, this particular journal is at position 5. So 1 minus 5 divided by 171, that will give you the 0.97 and in percent 97. So the ranking of the journal is above 75%, that is 97%. So this is quartile 1. Here it is 95 percentile, so we can say this is quartile 1. Here 83 percentile, so again it is quartile 1. This is 71%, means the percentage is between 51 to 75. So this is quartile 2. So this is how the quartile information also you can verify here. Now for more detail, what I want to know more information about this particular journal. So I will just click on this particular journal and I will get more detail. So you can see this is the detailed information about the journal. The scopus coverages, this is very interesting and very important information. And this particular information will help you to whether to go for this particular journal or not. For example, since 1988 to till date, this particular journal is indexed in Scopus. So this will give you a confidence that in upcoming time also this will be generally indexed in Scopus. So I can definitely go for this particular journal. Suppose if you check a similar information for a journal which is in quartile 3 or 4, then you will see for few years it is in Scopus, for few years it will thrown out of the Scopus. So that information will give you an indication that whether you should go for such journal or not. Again, the scope of the journal, the subject area, ISSN number, all other information you can see. Again, if you click on the source homepage, then it will redirect you to the official website of the journal Reliability Engineering and System Safety. This is very important because in one of the example I said, many journals on their homepage, they say, we are indexed in Scopus, Web of Science, Impact Factor is 5.7, but that is a fake journal. So if you click on the source homepage here, then you will go to the official website of the journal. And surprisingly, I will tell you, if you open two journals, one is very good journal, one is predatory journal or fake journal of the same, copied journal, then all the information, look, everything will be same, but that other journal may be a fake one. So this is the right option to go to the official website of the journal. Then third one is Google Scholar. As I said, as a indexing, we should not rely on the Google Scholar. I will discuss this particular point later as well. But there is one very important significance of Google Scholar. What you need to do, go to Google, put Google Scholar, and scholar.google.com is the official website of Google Scholar, and go here. And this is a very good search engine, and you can use this particular search engine to search articles related to your domain. For example, if I put a word reliability, I will get so many journals and papers related to reliability domain. Why I'm emphasizing as a search engine? Because suppose I wanted to know, get the papers on a particular journal, let's say reliability engineering and system safety. What I need to do, I need to go to the official website of the journal and I have to search the related articles. And suppose in reliability domain there are 22 journals, then one by one I have to visit each and every journal. So that is a time consuming process. But with a certain keywords, if I go to the Google Scholar will provide all the articles which are related to my domain and which are published in all these relevant journals. So on a single platform, I can explore all types of articles. Again, if I want to set a range that I want to get articles which are published in last 3-4 years, I can apply that filter here and I can get the articles. So sort by date, and there are so many other options also available. So my recommendation is the Google Scholar engine should be used for searching relevant articles on a single platform instead of visiting the website of India site. So this is the advantage of Google Scholar. Then UGC approved journals. Nowadays, many faculty members are also interested in UGC approved journals, especially when we talk about promotions. Then many faculty members think that publishing in Scopus or Web of Science is quite difficult. So it is better to go for UGC approved journals. So what you need to do, go to Google, put UGC approved journals on Google. You will go to the official website of UGC. You can see here. And on the homepage itself, there is a link for UGC approved list of journals. So click on this particular link. So here two informations you will get. First one is clone journal, that is predatory or fake journals. So that information is also available. So if you want to know if a journal is predatory or not, you can use this particular option. And if you want to know the quality articles or journals, what you can go, you can go for either group 1 or group 2. For more details, I will go to the another web page here. So here you can see the UGC care list group 1, and there is a search window. So the journals which are included in UGC care list, these journals or information of these journals is available here. Secondly, there is a group 2 as well. What UGC is saying, if a journal is indexed in Web of Science and Scopus, by default it is included in the UGC care list. So if you came to know that the journal is indexed in Web of Science or Scopus, then you need to assume that it is in the UGC care list. But UGC is saying apart from these two international indexing bodies, there are certain journals which are also good quality. So for that, you can refer this particular website and especially the search option. Here, what you need to do, you need to select a type of journal. Then you need to enter the keyword and click on the search option. After putting this part, all the information, if the name of the journals are appearing just like this, you can say that these two journals are not indexed in Scopus and Web of Science, but they are in the UGC care list. So this is a very good source where you can get the information whether the journal is a part of UGC care list or not. So till slide number 23, we came to know how to check, authenticate information about Scopus, Web of Science, how to use Google Scholar as a search engine, and UGC approved journals. Now we will go ahead with a certain important terminologies, impact factor. So many journals says that our impact factor is 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you open the article, you easily say that the quality of the article is worst, then how the impact factor is 7, 8 or above. For that, we need to understand that impact factor is a copyright word of Web of Science. This is very, very important. Many people don't know. So it is a copyright word. So the journals which are indexed in SCI, SCIE, AHCI, and SSCI, these are journals will have impact factor. The impact factor is calculated for 2 years as well as 5 years. But popularly, the 2-year impact factor is used by most of the people. If you look at the definition of calculating the impact factor, from the definition, you may feel that it is quite difficult. So let's take an example. Suppose a journal published 100 articles in 2018 and 200 articles in the year 2019. So in 2018 and 2019, 2 years, total articles published by journal is 300. And these 300 articles received 900 citations in 2020. Then the impact factor is calculated by using this formula. So 900 is the number of citations in the year 2020 for the articles published in 1819, divided by the number of articles published in these 2 years, that is 2018 and 2019. So 900 is the number of citations, 300 is the number of articles published in these 2 years, and the answer is 3. So impact factor for the journal is 3. So this is how the impact factor of a journal is calculated. The interesting thing is that the impact factor information is published every year, and generally it is in the first week of June. So one limitation, I personally feel it is a limitation. That is, see, when the articles are published 18 and 19, the citations are considered for 2020, and that information is available in 2021. So based on the old information, the impact factor is calculated, and we receive that information in 2021. So Scopus is saying that this formula is not appropriate. And again, the impact factor is a copyright word of Web of Science. So the Scopus come up with a new terminology, that is a site score. But before we go to the site score, again we will see the 5-year impact factor, how it is calculated. Let's take example. Suppose consider 5 years, 2015 to 2019, 5 years. In each year, the number of articles published, that information is available. So that journal published 500 articles in these 5 years. And the number of citations received in 2020 for these 500 articles, this information is available, and that is 1,500. So what we can say, in the 5 years, the number of citations received in 2020 is 1,500, divided by the number of articles published in these 5 years, and the answer is 3. So the 5-year impact factor is 3. So just change in the duration. For 2-year impact factor, we consider the number of articles published for 2 years. For 5-year impact factor, we consider the number of articles published in 5 years. Now, where will you get the authenticate information of impact factor? Because predatory journals also say impact factor is 5, 6, 10. But how to believe in that information? So what you need to do, Web of Science, every year they publish a report called as Journal Citation Report. In that report, in front of journal, the impact factor information is given. But unfortunately, that is a paid service. So that information is not available free of cost. So if your institution has a subscription for Journal Citation Report or Web of Science, we can say, you can get that report and you can check the impact factor information. But if you don't have the subscription, which is quite expensive, then I have one more option for you. What you need to do, this page we already visited, that is official website of Web of Science. Go there and in the search bar, put the name of the journal and click on the search option. The information available of the journal is available here. So first of all, check where it is indexed. So we can say that it is SCIE journal. So first information we came to know that this particular journal is indexed in Web of Science SCIE. So definitely it will have impact factor. Now one more option you can see, view profile page. So if you click here, then there is option to go to official website of this particular journal. And if I go to the official website of this particular journal, then on the home page itself, the impact factor information is given. 1.891 is the 2 years impact factor, and 5-year impact factor is 1.914. So if you verify the journal is indexed in SCIE, that is Web of Science, then from the website of Web of Science, go to official website of the journal, and whatever information available on that website, that is a authenticate information. So if you don't have subscription for journal citation report, this procedure you can adopt to get the authenticate information of impact factor. Then site score. As I mentioned, impact factor is a copyright word of Web of Science, so you cannot, Scopus cannot use. So Scopus came up with a new term, that is site score. And site score is a copyright word of Scopus. If you look at the definition is quite difficult, and the definition is not in line with the impact factor. So let's take one example so that you will come to know how site score is estimated. So impact factor considers either 2 years or 5-year duration, but the site score considered 4-year duration, 2017 to 2020, for example. Now in these 4 years, the number of articles published are 500, you can see. So in these 4 years, 500 articles are published. Now, the number of citations to these articles, that duration is 2017 to 2020. Means articles are published in those 4 years, and the number of citations to these articles are also considered for the 4 durations only. So this is the difference in the site score and impact factor. Impact factor was considering the next year. Articles are published in 17-18. Impact factor was estimated for 2020. But here all the 4-year citations are considered. So in these 4 years, the number of citations are 1000. So what you can do, just a minute. Yeah. So in order to calculate site score, the number of citations in those 4 years divided by the number of articles published in those 4 years. That ratio will give you the site score. So the number of citations between 2017 to 2020, that is 1000, divided by number of documents published in those 4 years is 500. So site score is 2. And this site score information is also published in next year, May 2021. Generally, it is published in last week of May next year. So this is the basic difference between calculation procedure for site score and impact factor. And impact factor is a copyright word of Web of Science, and site score is a copyright word of Web Scopus. Then, as I mentioned, go to official website of Scopus, and in front of journal, the information about site score is freely available to you. So you can get the official authenticate information of the site score. Again, as I mentioned here site score for 2020 is mentioned. Again, site score tracker is option available. So whatever a new site score will be there for 2022, that updated information also available here. Again, there are so many technologies: source journal rank, source normalized impact per paper. So right now, considering the NIRF, NBA, Web of Science, right now there is little significance for these terminologies. So just we can focus on the site score. Again, if I click on the source homepage, where I will go? I will go to the official website of Reliability Engineering and System Safety Journal. And on the homepage itself, the site score as well as impact factor information is also available. And you can cross verify on the official website of Scopus and the website of the journal. Now, generally, there is a debate that the Web of Science is better or Scopus is better. And that is going on since many years. But what I can say, if a journal is indexed in both Scopus as well as Web of Science, you can consider them as a good journal. Of course, based on my experience and when I had a discussion with so many experts, in Web of Science, SCI and SCI should be your top priority. When we talk about only Scopus, quartile 1 and quartile 2 should be our top priority. So this is how you can use this particular information for the selection of a journal. Many people say that, sir, generally site score is higher than impact factor. No. There are many journals. For example, recently I published one paper in Journal of Energy Storage, which is elsewhere. The impact factor was 8.9 and site score was 8.3. So the site score or impact factor is based on the formula, the number of citations divided by number of articles. So as it is a formula based, so practically it is not logical to compare the impact factor as well as site score. But the thumb rule is that higher the site score or impact factor, quality of the journal is higher. Because higher the site score means many people are referring the articles published in those journals, means the journal is maintaining the reputation of the article. They are publishing quality articles in their journal. Then the next term is H index. So H index is calculated for both the journal as well as author. So it is not like a site score or impact factor which is valid only for the journals. The H index is for both journal as well as author. If you look at the definition, an entity has H index value of Y if the entity has Y publication that have all been cited at least Y times. Very difficult. Let's take one example to understand. Suppose a journal published 8 articles. Out of these 8 articles, there are 6 articles. All of these 6 articles received at least 6 citations. And therefore, H index is 6. I will repeat. Journal published so many articles, but out of these n number of articles, there are 6 articles. All 6 articles have been cited at least 6 times. And therefore, the H index is 6. So this is how the H index of a journal as well as author is calculated. Now, where will you get authenticate information of H index? So go to Shimago journal rank, put this word on the Google. Here the journal ranking is the option on the official website of Shimago journal rank. Go there. When you go to the official website of this Shimago, then the name of the journal, the H index, then all other information is available. And we are interested in H index. So the Shimago journal ranking is the website where you will get the authenticate information about the H index. Again, there are so many options. If you want to know particular information about a journal, you can put here and you can check. For example, IEEE Transaction on Reliability is one of the well-known journal in the domain of reliability. Publisher is IEEE and H index is 95. It means since 1963, the IEEE Transaction on Reliability journal published thousands of articles. Out of these thousands of articles, there are 95 articles, and all 95 articles received at least 95 citations, and therefore H index is 95. So this is how the H index for a journal is calculated. And the thumb rule is higher the value of H index, higher the quality of the journal. Now, I have taken my example, and through this example, I wanted to percolate so many information. For example, H index. So H index, you can see 8. So I have published 49 articles in my entire career. Out of 49, I have published 8 articles such that these all 8 articles received at least 8 citations. And therefore, H index in Google Scholar is 8. This is the H index for a given author. Now, here interesting thing is that till date, since 2013, where I have published first article, I received 233 citations. Just remember this particular number. I'm going to interpret this particular number in next slide. But when I look at the citation trend, I can see the trend is increasing. Means the quality of article is improving day by day. This information I can get from the citation bar chart. One more observation I can see, till 2019 there was a typical range, and after 2020 or since 2020 the trend is different. Suddenly I can see a rise in the citations. Means many people are referring my article. What does this mean? This means till 2019 there was a typical pattern for doing the research, but in 2019 I went for my postdoctoral research at University of Maryland, where I expanded my research and different dimensions I included. Especially I came to know that if I work on the recent topics in a given domain, then many people will cite my research and I will get more citations. Such additional dimension or thought process I came across, and I started working on the recent trends domain, and that's why you can see there is a significant improvement in the number of citation. So this is not just a bar chart for the citations. A lot of information you can get from this. Again, just remember these two numbers, citations 233 and H index is 8. So this H index and citations are for Google Scholar. I will go to the official website of Scopus. Before that, I will mention one more thing. In order to create a profile on Google Scholar, you need to create, means manually we create our profile on Google Scholar. However, for Scopus, we need not to create our profile. Once we start publishing articles which are indexed in Scopus, automatically Scopus will create your profile. That is interesting thing about the Scopus. Now, when I look at the Scopus profile, what I can see in Google Scholar citations were 223 and on Scopus it is 120. Then the question comes, why it is less? The answer is very simple. As I mentioned, publish a poem on a Google, then Google Scholar catch that poem and cite all the articles. Means whatever work available on the internet, Google Scholar catch the citations from there. That is not in the case of Scopus. What Scopus do, that consider the citations in the article which are in the Scopus only. For example, I received 120 citations from 98 documents. Means in the 98 research papers, my papers are referred or cited. And all of these 98 journal papers are also indexed in Scopus. This is very important. So the citing article also indexed in Scopus. And that's why you can see there are less number of citations in Scopus. Means Scopus maintain their reputation. Second thing is that I publish nearly 27 articles in Scopus. So total number of publications from my side is 49. Top 49, only 27 articles are indexed in Scopus. And these 27 articles received 120 citations from whom? Were 98 articles, and all these 98 articles means these papers are also indexed in Scopus. And that's why Google Scholar H index was 8, here H index is 6, because less number of citations, so automatically the H index will also go at lower end. And its meaning is I have published 27 articles in Scopus, out of which 6 articles are search. All 6 articles received at least 6 citations, and therefore Scopus H index is 6. This is how the definition of H index is there. Second observation you can see, after especially 2019, the number of publications increased, quality publications improved, and that's why the citations in the Scopus also increased. So ultimately what I wanted to convey, if you publish quality articles, probability of getting more citation is higher. If you are working on recent domains, AIML, solar photovoltaics, then probability of getting more citation is higher. So this is how you learn from your Scopus and Web of Google Scholar profile. Again, we will go to the Web of Science official website. I will repeat one thing, Google Scholar, you need to create your own profile. Scopus will create your profile. In case of Web of Science, you need to create your Web of Science profile. So this is the Web of Science profile. And I can see there are only 13 articles which are in the Web of Science core collections. Means 49 articles in Google Scholar, 27 articles in Scopus, and only 13 articles are in the Web of Science. And that's why you will see less number of citations in Web of Science. And number of citing articles means the people who referred my articles are also less. So this is also good indication that Web of Science, in a one way we can say, they have higher standards. Second level Scopus will come, and Google Scholar is a very general type of engine. Right. So here you will get official information about your Web of Science profile. One interesting part I would like to highlight, if you have Scopus account, Web of Science account, then I strongly recommend you to create your Orchid account. Here you can see the Orchid number. So go to the official website of Orchid, create your account, and once you create your account, the Orchid account can take your published articles. Again, you can add your published article manually in your Orchid account. And if you link your Orchid account with Web of Science account, then the updation rate of your Web of Science account is very fast. And that's why I'm recommending you to connect Orchid account with your Web of Science account. That option is available. Second thing, you should also link your Orchid account with your Scopus account. Here you can see Orchid account is linked with Scopus account. See, if you link all these accounts now, the profile will get updated at a faster rate, and you may not miss your article to be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. Why I'm saying this, many times what happens, article is published in a good journal, it is indexed in Scopus and Web of Science, but many times it is not appearing in your Scopus or Web of Science profile. So what to do? That is a problematic question. So if you link your Scopus and Web of Science account with Orchid account, then automatically your articles will get updated here as well. There is also second option where you can write a query to Web of Science or Scopus, and manually they at their end update their articles. So this is all about the first part of the presentation, where we discussed about what is Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar, different indexing, then quartiles, then H index, I-10 index. I forgot to tell you about I-10 index. Here you can see one more terminology is I-10 index. I-10 index is applicable only to Google Scholar. And here you can see the number 7 means out of 49 articles which are published, there are 7 articles, and all of these 7 articles received at least 10 citations. I-10. That's why the I-10 index is 7. So some important quotes I brought for you for first part of the presentation. The research is what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing. The secret of getting ahead is getting started, and you don't know what. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So this is a motivation for you to publish your article at right place. And this particular presentation definitely help you to find out what is a peer review journal, the difference between the journals and the publishers, what is indexing, the difference between impact factor and site score, what is H index for author as well as journal, what is I-10 index, what is SCI, SCIE, ESCI, quartile 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have any question based on first part of the presentation, the session is open for discussion. You can ask your question. Yes, anybody has any question?
So your microphones are on now. You can ask question one by one.
One question I can see in the chat box. Sir, every year UGC care list changes. So generally there is a frequency for updation of UGC care list. So last update was, I guess, in 2020. I didn't shown it in the presentation, but after every 2-3 years, that list will get updated. But for Scopus as well as Web of Science, every year the list is updated and available online. So my strong recommendation is to focus more on Web of Science and Scopus list rather than UGC care list. Again, if you think that your article is available in UGC care list for a given year, then take the printout of that particular page, because when it will not be available in next year, the previous year proofs you will not get. Okay. Yeah, you can ask your question. Somebody is raising the hand. Okay, anybody want to ask the question? They can unmute themselves and ask the question. Otherwise, they can put their question in the chat box. Sir, how to find a research gap in a particular domain? So on Saturday, I have 2 sessions. How to do a literature review and how to write a review paper. There I will be discussing in detail how to find out a research gap. So wait for that particular session. Is there any consultant list available of UGC care list of journal? Yes, go to official website of UGC care, and I guess they charge some tentative amount, I guess 100 rupees, and you can download the list of journals which are indexed in only in UGC care. So as I mentioned, there are 2 lists, part 1 or group 1 and group 2. Group 2 means if the art journal is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, by default it is in UGC care. But there are certain journals which are not indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, but they are in the UGC care. That official information you can search on the UGC care website, or if you pay 100 rupees, if I'm correct, then you can download the list of journals as well. I guess I answered to the question of Professor Bhushan. Next question, if possible, then send us the link regarding UGC care journals. So this particular presentation is available on my official website. Okay, so you can see here, this is the official website, and here the lectures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in ongoing activities. The presentations are available. You can visit here and you just do this exercise. You will come to know all the authenticate information. Okay. So if there is no question, I will go to second presentation.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how to find research gap in a particular domain? Research
Yeah.
gap.
Regarding
Regarding to literature survey, so how many years we should have the literature survey to be read?
okay, so as I already mentioned, on Saturday I will be having two sessions, literature review. In that I will be discussing in detail. But quickly I will tell you, when you form a research problem, what is expected? You should refer recently published articles, especially in last 3 to 5 years. And these research papers should support your research problem, or you can also get a research problem from there as well. And how to get the research problem from the literature review, I will be discussing on the coming Saturday.
Sir, for 4 to 5 years,
3 to 5 years I will recommend.
because recently I have seen, sir, in 2023, there are many papers are there. So 4 to 5 years means what we have to take from that paper. 4 to 5 years, it is a long period, sir. So how could we take a research gap is proper in not in a limited time, because we can't
Okay,
take
if
it
you
in a
consider the duration of 5 years, I can understand thousands of articles are published. So what I recommend, from your domain specific recently published review articles, and this is the best source to reach quickly to the research problem. This is a quick answer I can tell, and for more details, Saturday I will be giving a detailed presentation. So ma'am, I request you to attend the Saturday session. There we can have a detailed discussion.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next question is, when I submit my paper, the journal is having Scopus indexed, but after publishing it, the journal is removed. So what to do? Okay, so I will tell you very frankly, if the journal is indexed in quartile 3 and quartile 4, practically it is very difficult to predict whether that journal will be indexed in Scopus for the year in which you are publishing the articles. So what you need to do, you need to look at the trend. So I will just quickly go to the official website of Scopus and I will demonstrate one thing. Okay, as I mentioned, go to official website. There is option sources, and here I will quickly put a word reliability, and I can see there are 22 journals which are indexed in Scopus. So I will click here IEEE transaction on reliability, and there you can see from 1963 to present, this journal is indexed in Scopus. So this data can easily tell me that in the future this journal will remain in the Scopus. So blindly I can believe in this particular information. I can go ahead with this journal. But if I go to the lower quality journal, this is another journal. This also says that since 2008 it is in the Scopus. So I can also rely on the journal. I will take another example. One typical example where I can demonstrate the quality of a journal. So if I put a word mechanical, 115 journals are there. I will go to quartile 4. You can see option here. I will apply the filter. And you can see the low quality journals. Here you can see 1968 to 1998 it was there. Again it is removed for 3 years, and since 2002 to 2022 it is there. And from this information also I can see that trend is good. But there are certain example right now I can't find the example. But if you came across a journal, what you need to do, you need to go through this particular information. And if this information is saying that the journal is frequently going in, going out from the Scopus, try to avoid this journal. Okay, second part of the question is, if I publish article in 2022, right? And the Scopus is saying that it is indexed in Scopus. But this year it is in Scopus, but the site score for 2022 will be published in 2023, and I'm publishing my article in 2022. So if in 2023, if I came to know it is indexed in Scopus, then yes, I have article indexed in Scopus. But unfortunately, when that list is published in 2023 and it is not appearing, so your article which is published in 2022 will not appear in the Scopus. And there is no authenticate information where you can intermediately check if the journal is indexed in Scopus or not. One good indicator is, as I mentioned, this trend. If this trend is saying it will be in the Scopus, then rely this information. Second could be the site score tracker. This is another indicator where we can say, yeah, this particular journal will remain in the Scopus for 2022. So these are the indicators, but the authenticate information once it is published in 2023.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, could you once again tell how to see whether a journal is indexed in Scopus and Web of Science? Could you give
Okay.
a demo?
Okay, quickly I will give you a demo. I will go to Google. I will put Scopus, and this is the official website of Scopus. And on official website, I can see your option sources. I will click on the sources option. Here, this is a drop down option. I will go to title. Generally, I opt this particular option, and I will put a keyword or name of the journal directly. If the journal is appearing in the list, I can say this is indexed in Scopus. If it is removed from the Scopus, can you see here? 17, 18, 19, 20, these are the journal. They were in the Scopus previously, but now they are removed from the Scopus. So from 2009 to 2012, this particular journal was in the Scopus. Now it is removed from the Scopus. So this is how you can check. And what I recommend you, ma'am, just refer my PPTs and just have a practice. You will be in a position to search appropriately and to get authenticate information. Okay, any other question? Okay, I guess I answered most of the questions. If you still have any question, you can put the question in the chat box. I will take it after my second presentation. So now I will move to my second presentation. Please share the PPTs. The PPTs are available on my official website here. I will share the link and you can get it from there. I'm just sharing the link of my website in the chat box. You can download from there. Digvijay sir, can we start with second session?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, so after discussing all the fundamentals about the journal, their indexing, publishers and other terminologies, now we will try to understand how to select a suitable journal, conference or book to submit the manuscript. And based on my understanding, I have prepared this particular approach. You might have a better approach. So in this particular presentation, whatever questions that you can see on your screen, we will try to find out answers to these questions. So let's start with edited book. Okay, so we will try to answer the first question. Yeah. So first of all, we will try to understand what is a book. As an academician, we know this particular answer, but when we talk about a typical textbook or a reference book, what we observe, there are 2-3 authors and they write the whole book. And if you look at the index of the book, there is a proper flow of the content. proper flow of the content in a given unit as well as unit to unit. So these are the typical characteristics of a typical book. Now, let's talk about this particular book, that is Reliability Engineering. It is also written by two authors. So from the title and number of authors, you can say that this is a book. But the word Wiley series in systems engineering and management, these words may confuse you that whether it is a book or a edited book. So the answer is very simple. Wiley is a publisher. They have different series of books, and one of the series is System Engineering and Management. This particular series has so many books as well as edited books, and the reliability engineering is a part of that particular series. And how to decide whether it is a book or edited book? First, there are few authors who wrote this particular book, and if you look at the content of this book, then you will see a proper flow of the content. Again, if you compare unit number 1, unit number 2, unit to unit, you will see a proper flow of the content. So this is how you can check whether it is a book or not. Then we'll go to edited book. The primary indication is that in the authors, what is written? Edited by. Means the predictive analytics, modeling and optimization is an edited book. This is not a typical textbook. And who are the editors? Vijay Kumar and Mangeram. These are the editors. These are not writers of the whole book. These are the editors of the book, and that's why it is called as edited book. And if you look at the index, what you can see, there is no proper flow or linkage or link between chapter to chapter. Each and every unit is written independently. This is a typical characteristics of a edited book. And different units or chapters are written by different authors. In case of a typical books, all units are written by few authors. Whereas in case of edited book, there are editors, and each and every unit may be written by different authors. Now, as an academic institution, I recommend you can publish your primary research in the edited books as a book chapter. Okay, so generally this is a typical call for a book chapter. Name of the book chapter is Descriptive Developments in Biomedical Applications. Publisher is Taylor and Francis, which is good one. What they do, the like-minded people come together, they form editorial board, they prepare outline of the edited book, and they write a proposal, and they submit a proposal to the publisher. The proposal will be sent to the reviewers. If the topic is based on the recent trends, the editorial board will receive the approval, and they can start calling the book chapters for the given book. So through email, through website, the information will be published. And as a writer, if I came to know that the article written by me matches with the aim and scope of the edited book, then I can submit the book chapter to this particular special issue. Then it is sent for the review. If reviewer agrees that it can be published in this particular edited book, your article will get published as a edited book. So if we compare with the journal paper, publishing a book chapter is quite easy. Now, what is an edited book? Edited book is based on the collection of the articles on a same theme. A theme is defined by the editorial board, and you have to submit the book chapter to this particular book. So book chapters will be submitted to the edited book. What is positive about the edited book? Edited book is referred by so many universities, so many students as compared to journals. See, if we start reading a journal article, we Even we have published so many articles, we find it difficult to understand a journal articles. But understanding of a book chapter and a book is very simple. So there will be more number of readers available for your edited book or book chapters. And if you publish an edited book, as there are many people to refer your book, they will cite your article. For example, Reliability Engineering is a book published by these authors, and just look at the number of citations. 1448. The book is published in 2014 and more than 1000 citations are there. And if I compare this citation with my profile, I published my first article in 2013. Till date, I published more than 49 research articles and I received only 233 citations. And this is single book received more than 1000 citations. What does it indicate? If you write a quality book or edited book, many people will refer your book and you will get more number of citations. This is the added advantage of writing a book chapter or editing book or a book. Okay, one example is there, but that I will not display here. I will share this particular book chapter with you so that later you will come to know that how to write a book chapter. Then if you compare with the journal article, book chapters are easily accepted. So as a budding researcher, your early research you can publish as a book chapter rather than a journal article. So what are the steps involved in selecting a right edited book to submit your book chapter? First step, many people what they do, first of all, they check whether there is a call for book chapter or not. If there is a call, then they start writing. But I will tell you that approach is incorrect. The correct approach is the domain in which you are working, start writing a book chapter. Once you write a book chapter, just look at the title of the book chapter and find out the key words. So this is a book chapter written and these are the some of the keywords. These keywords will help you to identify the related edited book where you can submit your book chapter. So these are the keywords. I will take these keywords and I will just put on the Google call for a book chapters. And instead of XXX, I will just write the keywords. Call for book chapters on reliability engineering. Call for a book chapter on biomedical engineering. And I will tell you, when you put this on the Google, thousands of calls are available. And you can find out appropriate call where you can submit. So this is a very easy process to select a suitable edited, suitable book, your article in a edited book. But interesting thing is that out of so many options, you may come across certain book series. For example, Springer. So you can see Springer series in reliability engineering. So this particular series is dedicated for the articles related to reliability engineering domain. Once I came to know such book series, then what I can do, when I wrote a particular book chapter, directly I will visit to this particular website and I can submit here. This is a shortcut for me to identify a suitable book series. Again, when you publish certain number of articles in a particular domain, then the editors of the book, for example, Vijay Kumar, these people know who are publishing in this particular domain and they will directly write an email to you that we are writing a book on this particular topic and this book will be indexed in Scopus. The detailed information is available on this particular link and you are requested to submit a book chapter here. So this is another way where you will receive an invitation for submitting a book chapter. So this is another way. But the question comes, if I search on the Google and if I came across 10 calls for book chapters, then how to select out of these 10 calls, which edited book I should select to submit my article. So what you need to do? First of all, check the theme of the book and the manuscript theme is same. If theme is not matching, your article will get rejected. If the theme is not matching and still your article is accepted, you will not get so many citations because it is a contradiction that theme of the article is different and theme of the book is different. So my recommendation is you must select a book and its theme must matches with your article theme. Second thing is that the editors who are editing the book should have appreciable profile. If suppose the editors are well-known researcher in the domain, then definitely most of the universities, professors, they will recommend this particular book to their scholars and students. And definitely they will cite your work in their article. So the credit of the editors also equally important. And third most important thing is that that book must be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. This is very important from NBA NRF point of view. I will give you one example here. In 2020, I published 2 book chapters in a book series which are published in Taylor and Francis. Initially, when I submit the article, just a minute, I thought that the article will get indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. But later I came to know that the article will not get indexed in Scopus. So what you need to do, you need to ask or write an email to the editor that is this book will be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. If they give assurance, then and then submit your book there. So as I mentioned, the theme must be matching. So you can see here, when I wrote the article, this is a bullet where the article scope and the call for proposal that matches. And that's why I decided to submit the book chapter to this particular edited book. Again, in the email itself, the editors are saying the book is indexed in Scopus. So this is a good indication. So I went ahead. Again, one more option. This is the official website of Scopus. Enter a keyword reliability, for example. And in the filter option, you can opt option book series. So I can see there are 2 book or book series. In the title itself, the reliability word is there. So this is a good place where I can identify the book or book series index in Scopus and I directly submit the book chapter to this particular book. This is also another approach where assurity of Scopus indexing you will get and its impact also you will come to know. So in brief, the first step is write a book chapter. Second, from book chapter, identify key words or domain area. Go to Google and search call for book chapters and just put keywords. The thousands of call you will see. Then select an edited book to submit your manuscript. If theme matches, editors have a good profile, and the edited book will be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. So this is a summarized flow chart for selecting a suitable edited book to submit your manuscript. Then what is the difference between a book chapter or a conference paper? Then this question comes because generally we publish present a paper in the conference and it is generally published as a edited book. For example, lecture notes in mechanical engineering, lecture notes in civil engineering. And we get confused. We claim that no, this is a edited book or book chapter, but actually it is a conference. So there is a debate. So we'll try to find out the answer. So this is a edited book. Title you can see. But what is written here? Proceedings of ICRUSH 2019. So what we can say, this particular edited book is based on the conference papers. Even if you look at the book chapters, You can see the individual article have individual theme. So the conclusion is that even though it is published as a edited book, but it will be treated as a conference proceeding. And in order to assure this, go to your official Scopus profile and you will see the list of articles. And on the top of the articles, you can check what is written. So here you can see effect of human and organizational factors on reliability. So one way it is saying that it is a edited book or book chapter, but Scopus is saying it is a conference paper. So what I wanted to convey, whatever written in the official profile of the Scopus or Web of Science, that information is authentic one. Then how to select a conference to submit a manuscript. So first of all, try to understand what is a conference paper. So when you start working in a particular domain, you don't know whether your results, primary results are correct or not. You don't know whether you are going in a right direction or not. You don't know where your experimentation work is carried out appropriately or not. So many questions you will have. But you do something and you get some results. And you are in a confusion that your answers or your results are correct or not. So generally the conference papers are based on your working or primary results. So based on your primary results or experimentation or literature, you just compile your work and present that work in a conference, and that is called as a conference paper. Because conference papers may not have the true results, correct results, or results with a greater confidence level, and that's why it is called as a working paper, not a typical journal paper. This is not a typical peer review journals. Then why should we present a paper in the conference? The answer is very simple. First, conferences will provide an opportunity to present your work, and the conference is from your domain. For example, I am working in reliability, and the conference is also theme is also reliability. Then there are so many people or experts who are working in my domain. They can give me a proper direction for my research, so that I will come to know whether I am doing a work in a right direction or not. What I should do in the future, that information I can receive from the reviewers or the audience. Next thing is that I will come to know who are working in my domain, who are working on a particular topic. Then it will help in knowing what is currently being researched, what are the recent trends in your domain. That information you will come to know. Then this will provide an opportunity to interact with the experts from your domain. And this is very, very important, I would say. And I will tell you my example only. I completed my PhD in 2018 from Savitribai Pune University. And in 2019, January month, there was a conference in the domain of reliability at IIT Madras. And the conference date and the PhD convocation date was same. And I decided to go for conference instead of convocation. And I will tell you, there I got opportunity to interact with international researchers, and I showcase my research publications to these experts. And one of the professor agreed to take me as a postdoctoral research. So this is a great opportunity to interact with your to the people who are working in your domain, and you don't know, either you will get opportunity for postdoc, research collaboration, or any kind of other collaboration. So my recommendation is, whatever primary results, either based on experimentation, literature data, or published data, you must present in the conference, but the conference should be domain specific, the domain in which you are working, and you will get these opportunities from these conferences. Then how to select a conference? The process is very simple. Write a manuscript, from abstract and title, find out keywords. These keywords will help you a lot. Use these keywords and go to Google and just search international conferences on reliability, maintainability, availability. Just put a keyword in front of international conferences and you will see so many conferences in the domain. Out of these so many what we say websites, you may come across one very interesting link, that is conference index, where if you go to this particular website, a list of conferences from reliability domain are there. So this is a good source for you, where you will come to know the conferences related to reliability domain only. And you can pick one of the conference and directly submit your manuscript. So this is a very good approach to select a suitable conference from your domain quickly. But again, there are so many conferences from reliability domain, but you need to check the theme of the conference. Why that is essential? Just look at this particular title, International Conference on Software Correctness and Reliability. So if I'm working in mechanical engineering domain and its reliability, then I should not go to this particular conference, because this conference is dedicated to software reliability. So again, filters are applied and you can find out the domain specific conferences where the theme of the conference and the article theme matches. Again, before you submit your manuscript to the conference, check conference and article theme must be same. Conference must be reputed. For example, 24th conference on reliability. That 24 number indicates that since 24 years that conference organized, means it has a reputation. The proceedings of the conference will be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. This is an added advantage. And next one is some of the papers. Suppose 200 articles are there in the conference. Out of that, 20-30 articles will be published in a journal. And these journals are indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. So this is another indication that you must go for such conferences. For example, I was talking about this conference, iCrush. If you look at the theme of the conference and my domain matches, so definitely I should go for such conference. Second thing is that as this conference is domain specific, definitely international well-known researchers will definitely come to this conference, and where I will explore so many things. And of course, we have to verify these things as well. Then during this process, you may come across some wonderful conferences. For example, in reliability domain, RAMS 2022. So I guess this is the 64th conference in this particular domain. So you can imagine 64 means what is the reputation of this conference. And the people who are working in the domain of reliability, they know that in their lifetime, they have a dream to go for such a conference and present a paper. So you can see 68 conference. So you can see the reputation of such a conference. So I strongly recommend you to identify such well-known conferences from your domain and target that upcoming 3-4 years. I will be presenting at least one paper there. So in brief, the step number 1, write a manuscript, identify domain area and keywords, use Google to locate domain specific conference, and before you submit your article, please check conference theme, manuscript theme must match, conference is reputed one, the proceedings will be indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. It is beneficial for you as well as your organization. And if the conference organizers are going to publish some of the papers in the journal, must go. And I will tell you, quality results you must present in this conference, so that your conference paper will be published in a journal and it will be treated as a journal paper as well. So if you submit an article directly to a journal, many times it may get rejected or probability of acceptance is low. But if you go through a conference, then the probability of acceptance is higher. And that's why I'm recommending you, if a journal is a conference saying that some of the papers will be published in a journals, index in Scopus or Web of Science, must go. Then let's go to the journal part, how to select a suitable journal to your manuscript. So journals publish scholarly articles. They have a very stringent criteria. Journals select domain specific articles and high standard research, especially the quartile 1 and quartile 2 journals. Second important thing is that journals are not a magazine or a newspaper, because in newspaper or a magazine, the audience range is very wide. For example, a Pudari newspaper or Times of India, n number of people who read the newspaper. But let's talk about a journal, let's say reliability engineering and system safety. The journal is reliability domain specific. And I will tell you, in the world, less than 5,000 people working in the domain of reliability. So audience is very, very small. And that reader or that audience will be writing articles and try to publish paper here. So you will not get a general reader for the journal articles. And that's why it is the responsibility of the journals to maintain their high reputation. Then and then the domain specific people will read these articles and cite the articles in their research work. And that's why all journals are forced to maintain their high quality. And as I mentioned, they are peer reviewed, original research, current developments are focused, proper citations, they may be available in online or offline. And if you talk about research impact or contribution, then generally as a researcher, we say that in our research paper, delta X contribution should be there. So when we talk about book chapter, a small delta X will be there. In conference paper, a better or a larger delta X will be there. But when we talk about journal paper, even though it is a delta X, but that should be a significant one. So we cannot compare a journal paper at all with conference paper or a book chapter. Journal papers means significant research contribution must be there. A writing point of view, book chapters are very easy, conference papers are very easy, but journal papers really challenging. Then certain information you must aware about a journal. Typically, journals typically publishes 8 to 10 papers in an issue. The issue may be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly. It varies from journal to journal. And whatever 8 to 10 articles written, generally their theme somehow matches. Then, as I mentioned that in a year, either monthly, bi-monthly or quarterly issues are published, and whatever articles or issues published in a year, that is called as a volume. Means 1 year, 1 volume. If journal is working since 10 years, means how many volumes they will have? 10. Let's take one example. Let's talk about one reputed journal, ASME Journal of Risk and Uncertainty. Put this word on the Google. You will go to the official website of the journal. And on the official website, you can see there is a tab for issue. Also, you can see the current issue as well. But go to the issue. Click on the issue. You will see this journal started in 2015 and still it is there. Now just click on 2021. So if you count 2015, 2016, then the number for 2021 is 7. Means the the volume for 2021 is 7. So 2015 means volume 1, 16 means volume 2, 17 means volume 3, and so on. So if you click on 2021, you will see there are 4 issues. So what we came to know, this particular journal publishes an issue quarterly. Means after 3 months, every 3 months, one issue is published. And in a given issue, 8 to 10 articles are there. So in a year, nearly 40 articles will get published. So what we have to learn? This journal publishes only 40 articles in a year. So probability of acceptance may be lower. Maybe that is not true every time. Second thing is that if my article gets accepted in this journal, the volume and issue number may not get assigned immediately because very few articles published in a given volume. So there is a delay for assigning the volume number and issue number. So such information we can learn from this. Again, you can click on one of the issue. So you will see a good journal. For a given issue, you will see a guest editorial. Based on the theme of the articles, 8 to 10 articles in that particular issue, a guest editorial is written. And I will tell you, the quality journals publishers, they maintain very high standard. They start with the issue with a guest editorial, then they put the articles below. You can see the articles. Again, they classify whether an article is a research paper or a case study or a review article. All micro details you will see on the official website. So through this, I wanted to convey how a volume is assigned, how an issue is assigned, why the guest editorial is written, and so on. Then the main question is how to select a suitable journal. So the very good and very interesting tool is that journal finder tool. For that, you must have a written article. And once you have a written article, from the title and abstract, find out keywords. These keywords are required for journal finder tool. So what you need to do, go to Google and put certain keywords elsewhere journal finder. If you are looking for a journal which is from Springer, put a word Springer journal finder. If you are interested in Taylor Francis, put Taylor Francis journal finder. And when you put this keyword, there is a link for official website for elsewhere journal finder. So go to the official website of elsewhere journal finder. This is the official website. And just scroll down this particular page and there are certain options. Here paper title means copy the title of the paper, put it here. Copy abstract of the paper and put in this particular window. Scroll down. Whatever keywords you identified, put these keywords here. Sometimes there are inbuilt keywords and from that only you have to select. So appropriate relevant keywords you need to paste here. Then you need to select field of research. For example, in our case, engineering. So when you put abstract, title, keyword, field of research, just click on find journals. And you will see so many journals where you can submit your manuscript. But these journals are from elsewhere publisher only. So elsewhere journal finder tool will help you to select suitable journal from elsewhere publisher. Again, there are so many information available for each journal from which you can make certain decision. For example, suppose the article quality is not up to the mark And just from looking at the article, or when you show your article to your professor, he can say this is an article of very high impact. Then you can go for high impact factor journal. If you came to know the article is so or average, appropriately low impact factor journal, you can select from the list. Second thing is that acceptance ratio. This particular information will help you to understand whether your article will get accepted in this journal or not. One more thing, that as a Ph.D. scholars, what is our expectation? Our article will get published quickly. So time to first decision and time to publication, that information can help us. So that if you are in the hurry, if the time to first decision is 10, it means within 2 to 3 months, the first decision either accepted, rejected, major revision or minor revision, I can receive the communication. So you can go ahead with such type of journals. Again, there are so many other options as well. For example, if the quality of article is low, what I can do? I can go for lower site score journal. Here you can see site score. So I can opt this particular filter, I can go accordingly. If I'm confident that my article must be published in high site score or impact factor journal, I will apply this filter and accordingly I will select a journal. If I'm a PhD scholar, what I can do? I can decide during what duration my article should get published. That filter I will apply, and whatever list I will get, in that list I will pick one of the journal and I will submit the article. Generally, the open access journal, their beauty is the review process is very fast and they publish fast articles. So you can apply this filter as well, that I have funds to publish my articles, then just opt this particular option so that you will see journals having open access only. If you don't have funds, then you can opt the subscription based journals. So what I wanted to convey, the journal finder option is available with most of the reputed publishers, and you can make use of this tool effectively to select appropriate journal based on the quality of the journal, based on the duration of the publication, based on the availability of the funds, right, and so on. There are other things as well. Now one more debate is there, that open access journal means a fake journal or predatory journal. That is not a true for most of the journals. See, I will tell you, the reputed journals, even most of the reputed journals having an option of open access, where when your article will get accepted, you have to pay the money so that your article will be made available to all the researchers worldwide, so that they can easily download your article, they can refer your article, and ultimately your article's visibility will increase and you will get more citation. That is the basic philosophy. Second thing is that, see, the well-known journals and publishers, they are maintaining their websites, updating on regular basis, right? And there are so many people working on at the background. So that also requires some money, right? So to go ahead with the no profit, no loss, nowadays journals are coming with the open access policies. They are not there to earn money. They are there to survive in the market, so that whatever expenditure required for running that journal, they can bear. That is the philosophy. Yeah, and of course, there are predatory journals as well. They take money and publish the articles. But whatever presentation I have given in first part, if you refer correctly, you can stay away from such predatory or fake journals, and you will directly reach to the right journals where you can publish your articles. Again, one more information is available on the journal finder too. That is, along with the journal and so many information, you can directly visit to the journal website, where you can check the scope of the journal. Because see, journal finder tool is also a search engine. Whatever journal displayed, all journals may not be related to you. That is quite possible because it is showing you the result based on your keywords. So best option is go to the scope of the journal, and if the scope of the journal and your article matches, go ahead with the journal. And here directly you can see the submit paper option. So you will be redirected to the submission window of the journal. You may ask a question, sir, why this option is provided here? I will tell you my example. When I decided long back, when I decided to submit my first article to a journal, and when I visited the official website of the journal, I struggle a lot to find out the option or a link through which I can submit a paper. It took around 2 to 3 hours. So nowadays, many journals simplified only on the home page, they provide this option. But the journal finder tool also there to simplify your work so that quickly, see, the time is very fast. Quickly we want to write the article. Quickly we want to review. Quickly we want to publish. So the journal finder tool is a very beneficial. There are other options available to select a suitable journal. Based on my experience, I identified the first is select a journal from your reference list. See, when we write article, we cite certain articles, right? Other articles, which are related to our domain only. That's why they are called as a references. So why not to submit our article to one of the journals, right? This is the best option. So that instead of using the journal finder tool, the articles which are referred to write my article, I will pick one of the journal and I will submit that. Second thing is that what did we do when we write our first article? See, generally as a budding researcher, when we write our first research article, what we do? From literature, we find out a very good article and we try to write an article similar to that article. We try to mimic the article. For example, reliability analysis of CNC machine tool. That article is published online by somebody. And I want to write an article on reliability analysis of, let's say, HVAC system. See, application is different, but the core research part or theme is same. So by referring that published article in a line, I try to write first article because I don't have experience to write a research article. So this technique will helpful for the new researchers where they find out the 2-3 relevant articles and they try to mimic the same. So the answer is very simple. When you complete your article, why not to submit your article to the articles which you referred to mimic the paper, right? So this is the best way to identify journal. Next one is take the help from your friends who are working in your domain. Suppose you are working, you started your career in the reliability domain. So you are new. I'm experienced a bit. So you can directly ask, sir, I have written this article. Where should I submit? So your friend, your professor, your R&D facilitation team may help you to find out suitable journal to submit your article. Or what you can do, take your abstract, title and keyword and write an email to the researchers who are working in your domain. And I will tell you, people are very good and they can recommend you a journal where you can submit your article. Don't send your full paper. I am saying abstract and keyword and title. With that, just write an email and you will come to it. So whatever methodologies I told you how to select a journal or a conference or a book chapter, this is based on my understanding or my research work or based on my experience. Based on your experience, you may have your own methodology or you can develop your own methodology to prepare a list of journals or conference or book chapters. And if all the steps are failing, they are not working for you, the best option is just go to Google and search how to select a suitable journal. And you will come across so many methods through which you can find out suitable journal. So in this particular session, we try to understand what is a book, what is book series, what is edited book, and what is a book chapter. Then we discuss how to select a suitable book, edited book to submit your book chapter. Then we discuss what is a conference paper, what are the benefits of conference, what are the benefits to attend a conference. Then we discuss journal, how to select a journal, suitable journal for submitting your manuscript. That's it from my side. These are the quotes for you. So if you have any question based on session number 1 and session number 2, I reserved nearly 19 minutes for question answer session. So the session is open for the discussion. If you have any question, yeah, please unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you can put your questions in the chat box. Yes, anybody? Digvijay sir?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I'm just about to finish my final experimentation for PhD, but the results are not yet out.
Okay.
So in the meantime, can I write a paper and submit it to journal?
Okay, so my strong recommendation is yes, you can write a paper. What you do, introduction, literature, methodology, that part you can make ready.
Okay.
And the discussion of results or data analysis part, write everything and keep the table and figures blank. So whenever results will come, you can put everything in that and immediately you can publish. So this is one option.
Okay.
Second option is your experimentation work is going on.
Yes.
So initially you struggle with the proper experimentation. So what you can do, whatever primary results you get, just take those results.
Okay.
You may compare your results with the published results, and that you can publish as a paper. That is quite possible.
Okay.
I guess I answered your question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
So many times, can I ask another question, sir?
Yeah, please, sir. You can ask as many as questions.
Sir,
We have 20 minutes.
the paper to the journals, they ask us to reduce the length of the paper to limited pages, say 8 to 10 pages.
Okay.
So at that point in time, it becomes difficult to squeeze the long length paper into limited number of pages. So where we should cut short actually?
Okay, so this is quite a tricky question and it varies from journal to journal. So I will just elaborate your answer to your question. So first, many journals, I will tell you, they don't have any restriction to number of pages, especially quality journals. So first step is identify journal where there is no limit for number of words or letters, tables. Even many journals have restriction on number of figures and tables as well.
Yeah.
So based on whatever methodology I presented, find out such journals where there is no restrictions for number of words or pages or figures, whatever. This is one option. Second option, if you want to publish a paper in a particular journal where there is a restrictions on number of words. So what you can do, first of all, introduction, literature and methodology. in these three sections, you can cut down some material which is redundant in nature or which is very general in nature. So such material you can remove. For example, suppose I'm writing a paper on reliability analysis of CNC machine. So for literature, I will be using the papers related to CNC machines as well as some general papers, right? So what I can do, I can keep papers which are related to CNC machine, and I can try to remove papers which are general in nature. So that is one option you have.
Yes.
Second option is, from your paper, please check which section is very long. Generally, the data analysis, results discussion, experimentation, this is a long section, right?
Yes.
So the results which are very significant, you keep those results, and remaining results you can take out, and that work can be published as a book chapter or a conference paper, or you can use that particular part for second paper. This is another trick I can give. Third trick I can give is that initially you just submit a long paper. Many journals accept. And when your article is about to accept or receive a major revision or a minor revision, at that time they will instruct you that reduce the length of the article, reduce number of tables and figures. At that time, you can remove the material which is least relevant or less relevant, not relevant, I would say. The impact of that research is low. That you can take out, publish somewhere else, and remaining what you can publish. So these are the certain tools and techniques I can recommend. One more thing I would suggest, generally the formatting, the number of page, if it is a restriction, the formatting is a skill.
Yes.
So if you strictly follow the guidelines given by the journal, I will tell you the same work you can put in minimum number of pages.
Okay.
Many times what happens, we unnecessarily increase the size of image or size of table. So we can squeeze the size of the image or arrange the table in such a way that it will take less space and percolate the right information which you want to percolate. So this is also another way to restrict the condition of number of pages. Or many times what we do, we prepare a table and for the same information we draw a figure.
Yes.
This is redundant now. So either keep a figure or a table, because both things are saying the depicting the same thing. So avoid such redundancy as well. And that is also that also requires a skill, and over the period of time we will understand
Yes.
what to keep, what not to keep. So these are the some of the suggestions from my side to follow the rules and regulations of the journal and communicate the relevant, required, essential information from your paper.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank
Hello.
you. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Sir, what is the difference between a literature review article and a systematic review article?
Literature review article and systematic review. Okay, so I have one more presentation, but that's fine. I will tell you. In a literature review, when it is a typical review paper or literature review, then whatever already present in the literature from historical point of view, you have to evolve your article. During this process, you need to mention important milestone, important directions in which research is happening, and at the end you should conclude what is the scope for future work, different directions for research, and different scope for work. So this is called as typical research paper, review paper. When we talk about systematic review, then many times these two words, review paper and systematic review, can be used interchangeably. But if you go into the detail in systematic review, you are targeting a particular domain. where you want to address the particular question or a set of questions, and all your literature review is in line with the set of questions. Here you are not doing experimentation. Here you are using the published work to answer the set of questions. So that is called as a systematic review paper. And again, in the Saturday's presentation, when we will be discussing how to write an abstract and conclusion, there I will be taking a particular case study how to write a review paper. So there again, this particular part will be highlighted.
Sir,
I guess I am answer to your question now.
yes, sir, yes. And how to means find our the basic means origin work in our domain, origin work.
Can you please
Because,
repeat?
sir, means how to find the originality of our work means in our domain. Because at the time of Viva, final Viva, I heard that the people are asking about what was the origin of your work. Means literature survey is different thing, but originality of your work means when it started.
Okay. Okay. So your question is related to origin of the problem, not a research contribution, right?
Yes, yes. Means
Okay.
in my domain, that domain when it started means if it is
Okay.
related to any health conditions or
Okay,
any other
generally-
things. So when
okay,
did that work
generally-
started first time?
Hmm. So origin, sometime origin and background, sometime background and motivation. These are the typical terminologies or the sections in which we have to write why we have chosen this particular topic or why we came across this particular problem. So there are different ways to defend this particular question. For example, we have ration shops where rations are distributed, but these are the fixed one, right? But let's talk about the remote places where the person has to travel 8 to 10 kilometers to get the ration. Then why we should not come up with the idea that mobile ration distribution system, where on the truck or a trolley there is a tank in which all the system is placed, and that vehicle will reach to the remote place and the people can connect. So this is the need of the time, especially for the people who stay at the remote places. So you can say this is the live problem. Second, you can say that if suppose there is a system, let's say hypothetical example I'm giving quickly. Take an example of internal combustion engine, the vehicle which is available in our vehicles. So the efficiency, we know that it is around 20-25 maximum. If I come up with a research where I can improve the efficiency of the engine by 2%, 3%, 5%, then this is the modification or development in the existing system. So this is how you can address. This is the need of the time, and considering the United Nations 17 sustainable goals, this particular research problem addressing one of the problem of pollution, you can support. Third way, when we read a review articles or research article, at the end, the research gap, future directions, they are presented. So you can claim that this is already happened in this particular research domain, and these are the some of the areas. And I have chosen one of the domain because we have facilities, we have industries nearby, there is a need in nearby society. So this is how you can justify to your problem. So these are the some of the ways to justify your origin of the problem, need of the problem with a sound foundation. I guess I addressed your question now.
Hello,
Hello.
sir. A very common question, sir. Actually,
Mhm.
many times in the introduction itself, the literature review is merged.
Mhm.
So, is it okay, sir?
Yeah, it is absolutely fine. It is up to us
Okay.
whether we want to write a different introduction section and literature section. It is up to us. As we go ahead with the manuscript, we get a confidence that either we should merge literature with introduction or I should keep it separately. What I recommend,
Yes, sir.
when we write an introduction section, generally the background, motivation, all the part we put along with the problem definition.
Yes, sir.
So problem definition should be supported with the literature, right?
Right, sir.
So in that case, it is better to include literature in the introduction section, and we can end that section with a problem definition and objectives.
Right, sir. Right. Sir.
If we think that I need to do a vast literature and the literature itself is divided into different sections in order to support your problem definition, and it is quite long, the literature section is quite lengthy. So in that case, you can go ahead with a different introduction section and literature section.
I'll just like to interrupt, sir.
Yes, please.
If the objectives vary, like there are 2-3 objectives, and then we are trying to merge the literature with introduction, will it do, sir?
Can you please repeat your question, sir?
Sir, if the objectives are 2-3 objectives, very
Okay.
typical, well-defined 3 objectives which we are trying to achieve.
Mhm.
So in that case, again with introduction literature, if it goes, will it do, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Only
See,
the
as
thing is we
a-
should take care
as
about
a
the
reviewer.
flow.
Yes, sir.
The only care we should take is to maintain the flow, like merging introduction with
Exactly.
the objectives and
Exactly.
literature review.
Exactly.
Fine. Thank
And
you, sir.
see, ultimate
Yes.
goal is
Yeah.
whatever research problem we are defining, whatever objective we are writing,
Yes, sir.
are they valid?
Yes.
Is it new? Is it a contribution from your work? How will you justify? Literature is the only way to justify,
Yes.
right? And that's why we should maintain the flow. And during this process, before objective, it is better to put a literature. Or appropriately, you can cite these are the objectives, and in order to support the objective, a detailed justification is provided in the literature section 2. So it is up to you how you want to organize your work and which approach will give you more confidence. I guess I answered your question, sir. Hello.
Hi. Yes.
Yes, sir. Any other question? Anita ma'am is there. She raised her hand.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, my question is, can we withdraw the paper if it is already submitted? Means suppose after some time I realize that this is really a good paper, and suppose some experts are suggesting me that why you have submitted this paper to this XYZ journal, you should have submitted to Scopus or Web of Science. It deserves that much. So what is the procedure now? Can I withdraw, and what can I do?
Yeah, this is very important question. And for this question also, I will answer in different ways. First, when you submit your article, and after a few days, if you came to know that my work is very good and I should go for a better journal,
Correct.
immediately you can withdraw your article. No issue.
Okay.
Sometimes we submit article, we receive revisions, major revision, minor revision. And at that time, if we came to know that, yes, I can go for a better journal,
Correct.
I can withdraw the article. Third, after revision, my article got accepted and still I want to withdraw the article. Yes, you can withdraw the article. But after acceptance, when you submit the copyright, you cannot withdraw the article.
Okay.
I guess I answered your question.
Yes, sir. But what happened with me is, means at the time of my Ph.D. submission, since it was mandatory to publish this many number of papers and all, so I submitted one paper over there. And now when I send mail to them that I want to withdraw this, there is no response from opposite side. So what now? Means I don't have any proof that they have really withdrawn my paper or not.
Okay, so such things means if they don't reply, that is a very rare case actually. But If you already sent an email to them that I don't want to publish here because of XYZ reason and I wanted to withdraw,
Okay.
then that mail is sufficient to you. You
That's-
can submit that paper to other journal, absolutely fine.
Okay.
Even though the journal is not responding, because you completed your communication from your end.
Right.
Now it is the call of the journal.
Okay.
Second, other part I would like to highlight here, many times what we do in a hurry, especially early career, we submit same article to multiple journals. And in that case, the article withdrawal, we have to withdraw the articles. So the first thing is that it is not a good practice or unethical to submit a single article to multiple journal.
Right.
Why? Because when we submit an article to multiple places, when you submit your article, first admin team come into the picture, they spend their time. Then editor come into the picture, he spend some time. Then article sent to the reviewer also spend time on your article.
Okay.
So submitting article to multiple places means you are unnecessarily consuming the time of these people. So that's why even it is written in many journals that submitting article at multiple places is not allowed. So this is not a good practice,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
So avoid submitting a single paper to multiple places. Rather, I would suggest whatever presentation I have given, based on that, develop your own methodology. And at first place only, you should select a right journal where your article will get published.
Okay.
Okay.
So one more small query.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see, sir, my research work is related with the sign language.
Okay.
Okay, very few people work with the sign language, or there are many subjects where the number of researchers are less. So in that case, the citation which I receive is as good as no. It's very few citations because it is very less referred. So while at the time of NBA accreditation or maybe NAC accreditation, how can I justify that I am really doing the innovative work, but there is no citation? So how to
So you want to say that you are working in a particular domain where less papers are published.
Yeah.
So ultimately in your reference list, there will be few papers, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. See, if there are only 5 people working in your domain, then these people will publish papers. Now, so the number of papers will be less.
Okay.
So ultimately in your reference list, less number of papers will be there. But given that all are relevant papers, justifiable paper, absolutely fine.
Okay.
But it should not happen that there are people who are working in this domain. There are many articles published in your domain, but you are not aware.
Okay.
Because it may happen that we think that there are very few articles published in your domain, but when paper went for the review, the reviewers know that there are so many journals, so many articles which are relevant to you. So either they will provide this information to you that these are also other journals which you can refer to expand your literature. So that is a good reviewer suggestion now to improve the quality of your article.
Right.
And if it is not available, suppose only 10 papers are available, you are sure, reviewer is also sure. Reviewer will never make a comment that you have used less number of research papers or cited less number of papers. That is absolutely fine.
Okay.
That is generally happening, especially when we are working on a new topic, unique topic. That is quite possible.
Correct. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, how to find means authors from our domain or researchers from our domain?
Researchers from our domain. So there are n number of ways. First, for example, I am working in reliability domain. What I can do, I will go to Google, I will put the research centers in reliability engineering. So I will come across some of the well-known research centers in world, go to their official website. I will come to know who are working in my domain, which are the researchers. This is first step. Second step, when I will write a literature related to my paper, I am referring so many papers. So these are the authors or researchers working in my domain. Third, if I'm working in a domain and by using Scopus, Web of Science, or by means of any other way, if I came across 10-20 journals from my domain, I will go to the editorial board of the journal. There, I will come to know who are working in my domain. I will come to know thousands of papers published in those journals. I can find out people who are working in my domain. So these are the some of the ways to find out the people who are working in your domain, centers who are in line with your research work. And third, identify the conferences related to your specific domain and go to such conferences where we get a list of attendee. These are working from your domain. Again, you can apply your again very specific key words to filter out very relevant people working in specific domain. So these are the some of the ways that I know to get connected with universities, research centers, and people working in my domain. I guess I answered your question, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, now Professor More sir will give the vote of thanks for
Yeah.
this today's session. And
Yeah.
for the participants, they have to fill the feedback form. The feedback form link is given in the chat box. Okay. Professor More sir will give the vote of thanks.
Yeah, sure. Thank
Hello,
you, sir.
good afternoon.
Before sir says something, I take this opportunity to thank the Nutan Institute for giving me this opportunity to present whatever Delta X I learned in the research career. And definitely this particular session will be beneficial for you to select right journal, conferences or edited book for your manuscript. And the terminologies will help you to differentiate between the quality journal and the predatory journal. So thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, one and all. I'm very much thankful to Dr. Rajkumar Patil, sir, for delivering his session on the scopus and wave of science-relevant perspectives and how to select a suitable journal conference and book to submit a manuscript and approach. Thank you very much, sir, because you have covered all the points which is necessary to publish a paper in a journal, that is how to publish in a good journal, how to select and publish article in edited books, and how to select suitable conference, indexing, citation, etc. So I'm very much thankful to the Dr. Rajkumar Patil, sir, from the PCCOE. He has delivered many lectures in our institute also. I'm very much thankful on behalf of our institute, that is Nutan College of Engineering and Research. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, the video link will be shared on the YouTube, and you can see the today's session video on the link. Okay, you can leave the meeting.